Perfect.
Okay, so welcome you guys to the new school year. This is our first workshop. We were supposed to have one last week, but we're improvising, and thank you for joining last minute today. So this is the College and Careers Workshop. Previously it was called the College 101, but a lot of times, a lot of students are telling me, why 101? Basically, back in the days, I'm kind of aging myself, it means that it used to be the college basics. But this is College and Careers Basics, and what that means, it's what's the fundamental of college and careers here at ICEC, and how do our classes relate to transitioning over to college. So with us, we have our own counselor from ICEC, Mrs. Gutierrez, and we have Dr. Mitchell, also from our San Bernardino Valley College Counseling Department. So you guys, you're on.
Perfect. Thank you for that intro, Rosie. So hi, everyone. My name is Montserrat Gutierrez. I'm one of the counselors here at ICEC, and I have Dr. Philly, is it Michelle or Mike?
Michelle.
Michelle. Did you want to introduce yourself? I want to make sure you...
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, hello, everyone. My name is Philly Michelle. Like as Rosie and Montserrat said, I am the transitions counselor from Valley College, one of the three. You will see me here on campus, at your campus, on Thursdays. So if you have any questions, if you want to have any follow-up questions beyond today, you can schedule a meeting with me on Thursdays or on Wednesdays with Pete, my colleague. But yeah, excited to present this information to you for those that are thinking about going to the next level, going to the community college system, beyond that, universities. So I think we have a lot of information for you, a lot of useful information.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So before we get started, I do ask you all, unless your teacher already told you in your class, please take out your phone. If you do have a phone, and go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen. It is to account that you came and you saw, you got the information from this presentation. So I invite you all to do that. So let's go ahead and take about a few minutes. So I know I'm presenting to a classroom here, so I see everyone taking out their phones. I see everyone else doing it from the other rooms. Awesome. If you do need any help, ask a friend. Ask one of your classmates next to you if you're struggling. We're here to help each other out.
Yeah. If that QR code doesn't work, you can also just type in that that link or that page, and it'll pop up on your web browser. For those that are joining us via Zoom, is it okay if they type in some questions? Is it okay if we keep tabs on those and answer those questions, Monse? What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll bounce off of it too. Good idea.
Same with me. If while you're speaking, if there's anything, I'll bring it up to your attention.
Perfect. Thank you. Cool. All right. I see everyone still signing in. No rush, everyone. No rush. So I see some people are still joining us even via Zoom. If you just joined us, go ahead and scan the QR code, or go ahead and type the link we have here into your web browser to sign in. Is just to make sure we know you got the information you need. Okay, some people are signing in. I'll give us another 30 seconds and then I'll move along. Are y'all good for the most part? Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at the webcam as well. I think everybody's almost done.
Yes. Computer. If they have a computer, do you have a computer in your yeah, if you have any like available computer or anyone that's willing to let them borrow, like if you could open up on the web browser and type in this info. They'll just have to refresh that link. Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, thank you all for your patience. We're still getting some people signed in. right? I'm just even glancing at my class, okay? All right, it looks like most of us are ready to move on. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Do we feel comfortable with that? Everyone else that's out there, teachers, anyone that's joined us, are we ready for to move on? Any hiccups? Just want to make sure we're all doing okay. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so as some of you are wrapping up signing in, I do have a question for you all. For everyone, so if you're joining us via Zoom without a teacher, or if you're in your classroom, I'm gonna ask you all. Just to reflect on this question, before you raise your hand or say yes or no, how many of you consider going to college? Okay, so I have one hand up, two. So I have so far within my space, I have two people have considered going to college. Okay. Maybe if you're in your class, you're like, hey, yeah, I've considered it. I see on the chat, Anna, so you considered it. Okay, nice. Anyone else? You're like, yeah, college. Anyone from the other classrooms? I could see, oh, I could still see the other classrooms. I saw like one hand up. Nice. Great, great, cool. So some of you, it has crossed your mind, you are considering going to college, all right? So what does going to college mean to you though? Does that mean you're gonna go and you want to be an engineer? You want to go and be a nurse? Do you want to go just so you're more informed? What does college mean to you? Just reflect on it. No worries. You don't have to raise your hand yet. What does going to college mean to you? If you're joining us from Zoom, you're more than welcome to unmute or type it in the chat. Someone said, oh, more money. Yeah, going to college. Yeah, if you go to college, you get more money. Anyone here within my space, what does going to college mean to you? More opportunities. I really like that. Someone said going to college means more opportunities. I like that. Yes. What? What did you say? Debt? More bills? What kind of bills? College debt. So there's a lot of help to go to college. There's a lot of help. You're going to get a little bit more information about that as we move along with the presentation. But think about yourself. What does going to college mean to you? Does this open, like someone said, more opportunities? Someone said more money. I see some side conversations. Does anyone want to share? Okay. Someone said that they wanted to advance in their career. So I have a student here, Lydia. She said she wants to advance her career. I like that. So we all have different reasons as to what going to college means to you. Getting a better
We
job.
have a couple people too. A couple people want to share my class too.
Okay,
Okay.
go.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Expand your education.
Expand your education. I like that. So I keep hearing expand, grow, achieve, more money. These are like really positive words that are uplifting. I really like that. More opportunities, meet your personal goals. Does anyone else from Dr. Shea's class want to share?
No, we only have one brave person so
Thank you
far.
for
We'll get more.
sharing. No, thank you so much for sharing. So we all have our different reasons. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move us along. So I'm gonna ask you this. Some of you are like, more opportunities, more money, personal goals, more to come your way, right? Sense of accomplishment. I like that sense of accomplishment. So what are the benefits of going to college? So I have some that I could share with you too. I see. Yes, okay, I agree. Some people are agreeing in the chat. That's awesome. So some of the benefits of going to college, right? You're always going to make more money. you're always gonna make more money, right? This is a very extreme example, right? A doctor, they have to go to college, they have to go to medical school, right? They're always gonna be making a lot of money, right? Always. But then we also have like a teacher. Teachers have to go to college. What do they have? They have a job. They have maybe stability. Maybe those are some things that you're looking at. Maybe you're like, you know what? I want a job where I have time to maybe spend time with my kids. I'll be in school, I'll be working while my kids are in school, and then I'll have the days off that my kids have off, right? Maybe you're doing it to work with your family schedule, right? Maybe those are the benefits. You want a job that works for you. Or maybe you want a job that has a sense of accomplishment to you. Maybe you're like, you know what? I really want to be an engineer and build roller coasters. And the benefit of going to college is that I could be an engineer that builds roller coasters because that's your passion, right? More opportunities. You get to meet other people, right? You get to build a circle of people that reflect maybe your interest. Maybe I said engineer. What if it's like you want to surround yourself around people that are just businessmen or people that are real estate agents? Or what if it's like, you know what? I want to be a plumber and I have to be around other plumbers. I want to be around people that are doing HVAC. I'm going to be around people that do HVAC. Or I want to go get my degree in college so I could be a lawyer, right? So there's so many different benefits. It's opening up other career opportunities, stability. We all like nice things. I think we all like money, right? So I mean, those are some of the benefits that come with just going to college, right? But I actually want to show you this chart. So I'm telling you, you know, college, right? You make more money, more opportunities, sense of accomplishment. Yes, those are all really great things. But I want to share this chart with you. This shows you how much you make and your employment rate based on how much school you get. So if you have less than a high school diploma, you're making about $30,000 a year. So that's like $15 an hour if you're working full time, right? Less than a high school diploma. And then if you look at your unemployment rate, for a high school diploma, your unemployment rate is higher. It's at 5.4%. As I start moving up this scale, if I get my high school diploma, what do I see? The pay goes up, right? I got a high school diploma, my pay went up. So I went up from 30,000 up to $38,000 now, right? And all of you are here to get either your high school diploma or your GED. So once you get that, you're going to be right here. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have applied to jobs or you're looking for jobs and you're like, I don't have a high school diploma or a GED, right? So if you're looking at the rate, if you don't have a high school diploma, your unemployment rate is a 5.4. Once you have your GED or your high school diploma, you go up to a 3.7. Okay, just as a comparison, right? So your unemployment rate goes down as you start to get more education. Do we see that? I'm going to go all the way to the top and compare the bottom. So if you have less than a high school diploma, it's a 5.4. But if let's say you get a doctorate degree, your unemployment rate goes down to 1.1. And then a year, just as an example, if you have a doctorate degree, you're at least making $97,000 a year. Yearly. This is just an average. Some doctors make more money, yes. Yeah, some doctors are making like 150, 300, 400, right? I know the doctors that make a lot of money, as an example, is like, what is it, plastic surgeons, right? They're making bank. Some plastic surgeons are millionaires, right? But this is just giving you an average of like when you have a doctorate degree. A doctorate degree has different categories to it. Okay? So I'm going to move us back down to here to the high school. So once we complete our high school GED, right? You're going up in how much money you make. Let's say you're like, you know what? I'm going to take a few classes in college, but I don't finish. You just took a few more classes. You just raised how much money you're going to be making now on average. You're now going up to $43,000. From $30,000 to $43,000, that's already a $13,000 difference, right? And your unemployment rate still goes lower, okay? We have an associate's degree, so we don't have associate's degrees, but Valley does, right? So Valley, when you get your associate degree over there, if you do choose to go that route, you just made your unemployment rate go even lower. So you went down to a 2.7%. And on average, look, you started bumping up how much you make. You're now at $46,000. So look, from 30 all the way to $46,000, that's already like a $16,000 difference on you going to school, right? Let's say you're like, you know what? I still want to keep going to school. I like money. I like nice things. You go to college, boom, you just went up to $64,000 on average. And your unemployment rate just went lower. You're just like, you know, I really love what I'm doing, but I want to make more money. Let's say you go back to school. Boom, go back, get your master's degree. You just went up to $77,000 on average. Yes. So you said, when I do this, I have to pay back the money I used to get to college. So I'll give you just to answer your question very generally, and I think Philly will probably go a little deeper into regarding how to pay for college, correct? Yes. There is so many ways to pay to college. Think about it like this. Some people pay $40,000 for a car, but maybe your degree costs $40,000 and you get scholarships to pay it off, right? So do you want something you could physically have, or do you want something that no one could take away from you? Because no one's going to take away your degree. No one's going to take away the education that you have, right? So I just say that as an example because there's so many scholarships, a lot of good opportunities to get your college paid for. I had a lot of my college paid for through scholarships. So never think that money should be an issue. Some people don't have I say this as an example. Some people don't have trouble going to the dealership and saying, I'm gonna get that $70,000 car, right? Why don't you direct that? Maybe you're like, you know what? I could get schooling instead, and it's gonna have a bigger payoff. Or sometimes some careers will incentivize you. Hey, if you go back to school, we're gonna pay for you to go back. So to answer your question, money should never be a concern because there's so many ways around it. So many opportunities. As Philly said, so education is your best investment. All right. I'm a big fan of that. So I give you the comparison of the car, right? Your car, you could wreck the car. Your car is going to get old, but no one's ever going to take away what you learn. Even what you learn here, no one's going to take that from you. So yeah, as you start going up, just to recap, you're always going to start making more money as you go up the scale with education. As you can see, you're always going to go up. Someone once said this and it has stuck with me. If you have your high school diploma, you could take the jobs of those that don't have a high school diploma. If you have a college degree, you could take the jobs of those who are below you, right? If you have less than a high school diploma, whose jobs can you take? Think about it right now. I don't know if you know any people. I think right now times are a little tough, right? People are going to staffing agencies trying to work part-time jobs. They're going to other places, right? And they're like, no, we won't get you. They'll rather hire someone that has a high school diploma or a degree, right? Think about it, because they're taking your job. So if you start getting like that GED, that high school diploma, then that puts you up in this scale. And you're like, I could take the jobs of people that are below me. Just as an example, it is an investment, okay? Any questions or thoughts before I move on? I had people in my class ask some questions. Does anyone else from any other classes maybe have any comments or anything before I move on? Are we all shy? It's okay. Alrighty. So that is my piece. So Philly, I'm gonna go ahead and move you. I think this is your part now.
Yeah, actually, if you are done, I do have a question for you, Monse.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm a student here at ICEC and I don't want to go to college yet. Is there any programs here that you can recommend to me?
Yes. So if you don't want to go, so what we do have, thank you for touching on that. If you're like, you know what, I don't want to go to college, we do have a few programs here. We have the CNA, so it's Certified Nursing Assistant. Okay, something about it. That's some college, some degree, so that kind of puts you around here. We do have those programs available if you're like, you know, I just want to make some quick money and I want to invest in myself. You could do CNA. Once you do CNA, you're eligible to do the licensed vocational nursing program. So that is an 18-month program. If you're like, I want to do nursing, that's something I really want to pursue. Something else we do have is a medical math and medical terminology class. So what does that mean? Those are 2 classes you need in order to get into the LVN program. You could always talk to any of the counselors, myself or anyone else that's available in the counseling center, and we could kind of help you goal set. If you're like, I want to be a nurse, what does that look like? We're a great fit. We can set you up with what you need in order to get to that route. We also have some people do end up pursuing being a barber. If they're like, hey, you know what? I've always wanted to cut hair. After you get your GED, high school diploma, that's another good route you can take if you're like, I'm not ready for Valley. Or let's say you want to take maybe a computer class to help you out. You're like, you know what? I just need to get familiar with Excel. I want to know how to use Microsoft Word because I want an office job. Those are good opportunities for you all to take on if you're just like, I'm not ready for college yet, or I don't know if it's on my mind. Yeah, great question. Does anyone have any questions regarding our program? So that's what we have. That's what you have to do in order to reach either goals. If you want to do Valley or if you want to do something here that we can help support you with. So I see head nodding here in my class. Does anyone else from any of the classrooms or here on the Zoom have any questions or comments?
We have a couple students that have.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go for it.
Paramedic.
If you want to be a paramedic, that is a good opportunity to talk to either one of the counselors here at the counseling center, and then we'll help you set up maybe an appointment to talk to, for example, Philly, and then he can start guiding you like, okay, you want to be a paramedic? This is what we got to do. Remember, you have to talk to us too, so we can make sure you're meeting your goals here to get you ready for Valley, because Philly is ready. He wants to make sure you're ready and equipped as well too.
Right. What about art school? You think something about art, taking art?
Do you have any like art classes or a degree in art? Is what
For
he's asking.
I
He wants to pursue an art degree.
Okay, Philly, do you want to
Yeah.
maybe answer that? Because I
Yeah,
know we don't
yeah,
have
we
anything
were-
art related here.
Exactly, yeah. So I think I'll take over now. If you want to go to the next slide. I'll go
Perfect,
to-
okay.
Yeah, so just to generalize, there are some programs that ICEC offers, and there's some that obviously they don't. Other adult schools might offer, or this is why the community college system exists. So for you all here that are attending ICEC, Valley College would be the college that is literally right across the street, right? So we are your local school. We are the one that we are here on this campus because we want to help you get there if that is something that you want to do. Okay, so but to answer your question for the gentleman that was asking about the paramedic school or the paramedic program, there are paramedic schools, right, that you would want to apply to get into. Um, a good way, a good route to begin your paramedic journey or trajectory would be to enter a program that has learn about the maybe CNA system, see how that can help you out. Maybe you want to drive an ambulance for a couple thousand hours and get that experience. Maybe you want to go to a college that has paramedic school along with fire technology. They go hand in hand because our firefighters now required to be paramedics as well in some cases. So you'll be able to find some schools that have those programs. For example, our sister school, right? So you don't. So in our district, we have 2 colleges, Valley College and Crafton Hills. So at Crafton Hills, you might be able to get some more information that route. Okay. And the other, what was the other? The art major. So that the art major is a field that a lot of colleges do offer. Valley College does have a lot of courses, a lot of areas in the art field. Art as in drawing, painting, music, photography, theater, or art as in art history, learning about the types of arts across all of the ages. So there are some areas of study that you can consider Valley College to go into. Let me see. So now that I have can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. All right, so let's talk about Valley College. So I know you are all working on your GED or your high school diploma right now, and maybe you're not considering a community college quite yet, right? Maybe it could be a little intimidating right now to think that far ahead. And that's why I wanted Monse to bring up the programs that they offer here, because maybe you haven't heard about them, or maybe you feel more comfortable going to a program here because you're already here, or maybe it's more efficient or convenient, whatever the reason is. It is important for you to know about the programs here, right? But at Valley College, right, we offer certificates, we offer degrees, and if you want to go to a university, we can prepare you to go to a university. All right. So the difference between a certificate and a degree, all right, so is the requirements to reach each one of those. A certificate normally requires that you focus on that area of study, right? So if you want to get a certificate, for example, in culinary arts, then all you're doing is taking culinary arts courses. You do about 6 or 10, and we give you your certificate. Now, if you want to get an associate's degree because you want to increase your pay scale and you want to take the jobs of those that don't have an associate's degree, like Monsa said, right? Then that will require that now you do general education classes like math, English, sciences. All right, so and that sounds familiar, right? Because that's part of your GED. So once you're doing these GE classes, general education classes, then you'll be working towards a associate's degree. Now, there are some students that don't want an associate's degree. They don't want a certificate. They just want to take a few classes for personal or professional development. And that is where the area where some college but no degree comes in, because we have a lot of students that maybe want to be a teacher's aide at a preschool, right? And a lot of our preschools will say, well, you don't need a certificate, you don't need a degree, you just need a certain amount of units at a community college, right? So, for example, students will come into the community college, take 12 units, which is like 4 classes, and then they take those transcripts back to that district and they can be working in a classroom helping out teachers, right? So again, you can get a good job doing that as well. So, but if anybody's interested in a certificate or a degree, we can help you out with that. If you want to come to the college and you just want to prepare yourself to get to a university, you can do that as well. And that is very common for any of our STEM majors, our engineers. We don't have, a lot of colleges don't offer a transfer program in engineering. So for a lot of those students, they just come into the college, they do some math classes, physics, some chemistry, they reach a certain amount of units to where they now can transfer to a university. And at the university, they get their bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, etc. But at the community college level, you can focus on certificates, associate's degrees, prepare to go to university, or just simply take classes for your personal growth or professional growth. Yep. Next slide, please. Is there any questions on that? On the difference between certificates? Does anybody feel ready to do something like this while they're working on their GED or after they complete their GED?
So I do have a
Yeah.
question here. A
Yeah.
student asked, how long does it take to get your associates? Is that right, Eulalia? Yeah.
Okay, good question. Excellent question. That is the $1,000,000 question. We always get asked, well, how fast can I finish? Because a community college like Valley College is normally known as a 2-year college, right? And that's true for a lot of the students that are full-time students. So if you're a full-time student, it'll take you 2 years. But the reality is that in order for you to get a degree, you have to reach 60 units, 60, right? So on average, every class is 3 units on average. So if you got to get to 60 and every class is 3 units, you got to do 20 classes, right? So the answer to your question is, how soon can we get through those 20 classes? If you're a full-time student, we'll do 5, 5, 5, 5. We finish in 2 years. If you're planning on being a part-time student because you have family obligations or work-related stuff, and you want to be a part-time student, then you're taking 2 or 3 every semester, then it's going to take you a little longer, right? But when you meet with a counselor like myself in our educational plan session, we're going to lay out all those 20 classes for you. And we're going to say, this is how you would finish in 2 years. This is how you can finish in 3 or in 4 or in 5. You go at your own pace, right? The point of that educational plan is for you to understand how to reach your goal. But at the end of the session, we want you to take ownership of that, right? And you control your destiny. You decide at what pace you want to take those classes.
He said, yeah, that
Yeah.
answered his question. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, next slide, please. All right, so now somebody was wondering, how are we going to pay for classes, right? Tuition, loans, debt. So, and like Montserrat said, money, finances should not be the reason why you don't go to school. There are many ways that we can help you. There are many benefits to going to school, and tuition should not be stopping you. Should not be stopping you from it. So, the very first topic here is the cost of tuition. So there are many programs that we offer in the college when you come in. If you are dual enrollment would be one of the biggest ones, which can cover your tuition. Dual enrollment is a program that we partner up with here, ICEC, and our college, where you, the student who is working on your GED right now, as long as you're working on your GED, any class that you take at the college will be free of cost. So the cost of tuition won't be an issue for you, right? So, but as long as you're working on your GED, not if you finish your GED, you gotta be working on your GED. And there's a lot of it's a big topic that we can talk in a one-on-one session, but that can cover your tuition. Working on your GED has many benefits, and as we'll talk about later in financial aid, earning your GED will have additional benefits as well, right? But that is the cost of tuition is very affordable. A lot of private colleges, universities, we're talking about $1,000 a class, right? $2,000 per class, right? All of the community colleges, there are 116 here in California. All 116 charge the same thing. They charge $46 per unit. So as I mentioned before, on average, a class is 3 units. That means 3 times 46. A class will cost you $146. Where at universities, you'll be paying 500, 700, $1,000 for that class. So again, the cost of tuition is to your benefit here at the community college level. Flexible schedules, right? Our classes, we have in person, we have online, and we have hybrid, right? So if you do an in-person class, normally they are either 1 day a week or 2 days a week, right? If the class is 1 day a week, it's going to be either 3 or 4 hours that one day. If your class is 2 days a week, it's going to be an hour and a half one day, an hour and a half the other day. Right. We have the virtual courses where you don't show up to class at all. You do everything through Canvas, right? So that really adds flexibility to your schedule because you can be doing your homework after work, before work, at your own pace, at your own time. You just got to make sure that you submit your homework assignments on time when they are due. Okay. Again, another benefit to the community college system is the opportunity to explore majors, right? Academic freedom is a big thing for you students. You don't, just because I do an educational plan for you for a business major, it doesn't mean that you have to complete that degree. You have the ability, the freedom to go and explore a different major, right? If while you're working on your business degree, you take a psychology class, which was a general education class, and now you fell in love with psychology and you want that to be your major, we can make that your major. Not a problem, right? Smaller classes, right? In your courses, in your classrooms, you'll see that you'll have maybe 25 students in there where you have more time to communicate with the professor. Transfer agreements. If we do have transfer programs, if you complete a transfer program, it comes with a guarantee of being accepted into one of the 23 Cal states here in California. So if you earn a degree and you want to continue your education at a university, you are going to get accepted at one of the universities. We have, like I said before, we have the professional certificates where you can just focus on that area of study. We have financial aid, right? We have different tiers of financial aid that can pay for your tuition, that can pay you to go to college. And later we'll focus a little bit more on that financial aid piece. And we actually are going to offer one entire workshop about financial aid, how we can help you qualify for financial aid. But just know that financial aid can pay for your classes. And if you complete your GED or your high school diploma, you can get paid to go to school. Approximately somewhere between $700 and $800 per class that you take will go to your pocket, right? Just because depending on whether you qualify for that financial aid component, and it all has to do with your income. Okay, and like I mentioned before, we offer online classes and weekend classes as well.
Billy, you did have something on the chat. So it says, as a GED student, am I limited to the classes I can take at SVVC for free?
Yes, yes, you are. So as you're working on your GED or your high school diploma here, we only allow, or the college only allows you to do 11 units as part of that dual enrollment process. 11 units. So not so much limited on classes, limited on units. So you can do 3 classes, and that'll be 9 units or 10 units or 11, depending how many units that class is, right? So that is something that is a common question. But you'll notice that once you start taking classes at the college, we will, in our conversation, and we'll look at your availability. We'll see how much time you're spending here, if you're working full time, and then we can come up with a plan of what can be a successful semester for you. It could be 1 class or it can be 11 units. It just depends on every individual is different. Good question. All right. So there are many resources at the college. Once you, just like you have resources here at ICEC, you also have resources at our college as well. So every student that we get at the college kind of could and potentially belong to each one of these groupings here. We have programs at the college. We have sports that you can be a part of. So you can involve yourself in the community college as much as you want or as little as you want. But some of these programs are some of the more common ones that we recommend for our students. For example, EOPS, Extended Opportunity Programs and Services. This is a program where students typically are full-time students. So once you are at the college, once you're done here, once you're fully over there and you want to be a full-time student, you got to be enrolled in 12 units. So once you're in 12 units, you're considered a full-time student and you are eligible to be part of some of these programs like EOPS. Now, EOPS being part of that program, they have their own counseling. And as you may know now, counseling is a big component of your trajectory at the college because we guide you every step of the way. We provide you with information, answer or clarify anything that you might need clarification on. We keep tabs and we do progress checks to make sure that you are doing what you're intending to do. So when you're part of EOPS, right, they have their own counselor. So they're going to give you that VIP treatment because you're part of that program. They also help you with some tuition, maybe some the parking costs. They definitely help you with school material, backpacks, books, pens, right? Sometimes they go on trips. So there's a big benefit to you being part of EOPS, but the big component is having your own counselors available, right? So, and as you'll see, when you want to make a counseling appointment with somebody, there are way more students that there are counselors. So sometimes you got to wait a couple of weeks to see a counselor, and being part of these programs gives you that VIP access. Kind of like us coming here to this school, right? You have access to us 2 days a week, where you can see us every week if you want to. Another program, another resource at the college is the CARE, right? The Cooperative Agencies Resource for Education. Again, so we try to help our students with any financial issues that they might have, any wellness issues that they might have. We try to help them to the best of our ability so that we can ensure that you can be a successful student at the college. For if anybody is interested in being a STEM major, studying science, technology, engineering, math. We have a whole department designed for those students to be successful because we know how competitive it is to get to the university level in those fields. So we have a program like MESA that has their own counseling as well that will help you prepare to pass those engineering classes, those chemistry classes, those physics classes. So we have free tutoring for all of you students, which is another component to you or a benefit to going to the college. Another program is SAS, Student Accessibility Services. And this is for any of you students that might have a learning disability or a physical disability, right? And it doesn't have to be permanent. It can be you can have a physical disability such as like maybe a broken leg or a broken arm. for the next couple of months, we are able to help you still maintain and be a successful student by you going into this program. For those of you that went to high school and had an IEP in high school, right, you will bring those documents and we can see how we can help you out here at the college level as well. The services that we offer are different than what you would have experienced in high school, but we still try to accommodate to your needs and help you to be a successful student to the best of our ability. Valley bound commitment, right? So we have programs, and this is more for the students that are graduating from high school and going right into the college, right? The college does offer free tuition for those students that are going into the college. And it also will require for you to contact that department, looking at their application process and seeing if you can be a part of that. We have the Guardian Scholars Foster Youth. So we have a program for that student population as well. A very important program that we just created, or we changed the name to Deep Dedicated Engagement Empower Part-Timers, is for those students who are not looking to be a full-time student. Perhaps some of you that might want to do dual enrollment, you won't be able to take more than 11 units. So you will never be a full-time student through dual enrollment. And even when you go to college, let's say you have a family, you're working full-time, and you don't want to be a full-time student because you don't want to do that to yourself, right? Then we have a program for you dedicated for those students that are not full-time, for those that are part-time, that also have your own counseling department. We also help you with materials, parking at some time. So again, we try to see how we can make your life as a community college a little bit easier so you can have a smoother transition along the way. And last, Star Trio, the program helps you for those students that want to go to the university, get your bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and beyond. This program will help you with college applications, maybe getting the college application or the interview process taken care of. So they help you with a lot of those things, thinking beyond community college. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? Nope, it's not. You see, dual enrollment. I see one on the Rosie. Dual enrollment is for all students enrolled in high school classes. Perfect. Okay. All right. So maybe we can go to the next slide and then we'll spit. Okay, so now we can talk about some of the most common or popular programs that we have at Valley College. As I said, we have a combination of certificates, degrees, or sometimes you just want to take a few of these classes for personal and professional development, right? But if you wanted to take some of these classes, like something in culinary arts, right? We have certificates in it and we have a degree in it. So and this could be a good certificate degree path because you can earn your certificate, take 7 or 8 classes, get that certificate, and start working in that field. And as you see, as you have time, continue to take 1 or 2 general ed classes a semester, and eventually you can turn that certificate into a degree and then increase your pay. Okay, so that's something that we see common at the college. A lot of our culinary arts students are also often seeking business degrees because they want to open up their own restaurant, their own business. They want to have their own food truck, right? So they learn the basics of culinary arts, and then they go specifically into food truck, and then they learn the basics about business, and then they have their own business going all at once. Another popular program is nursing. It's especially important or popular here with our ICEC student population because here we offer the CNA, right? We offer the LVN. And it is a nice bridge or a transition to go from CNA to LVN to then becoming a nurse as well. But just if anybody is interested in becoming a nurse, the nursing program is unique in the way that you first have to do some prerequisites. First, you got to take a group of classes. And then once you complete those classes, you apply to the program. And the only way you can apply to become a nurse or to be in the nursing program is by completing all those classes. And then it's a very competitive field, and you would be competing with all the other applicants that finish all those classes that want to go into the nursing program. So again, the nursing program consists of two different things: general education, English, math, arts, sciences, psychology, sociology, and then the core science sequence: anatomy, physiology, and microbiology. So once you finish those classes, then you can enter into the nursing program. The psychiatric technology, this is another common and popular program at the college because we offer two things. We offer the certificate and we offer the degree. And this is a type of certificate where if you like working with people, being helping others and taking care of the wellness of others, this is a good path. Some of the courses that are required for this is also in the psychology area, the behavioral sciences area, where you're learning how to deal with people, communicate with people, understand and receive information in certain ways. Uh, other popular programs is the welding technology program, the automotive technology. So some of these programs are certificate based, where you can finish in 12 months and start working in that field. Child development is another common one, as I mentioned before, because in some cases you don't need a certificate or a full certificate or a degree. You just got to take a few classes, enough units for you to have experience working with children, and then you can go to a school district and potentially serve as an assistant to teachers. The water supply technology is also very common. It is a certificate that you can finish in a short period of time. And beyond those, like I said, we have over 200 programs that you can work on. For those of you that are maybe thinking, you know what, I definitely want to go to college, but I don't know what I want to study. Okay, then that is okay. It is okay to be undecided, right? You can still go to the college and take a few general ed classes, right? Something that might pique your interest, and you'll eventually fall in love with an area of study, right? So it's just a matter of you giving yourself that opportunity. It doesn't matter what degree you go for, the general education will always be a requirement. So if you want to go to college and just take the general education classes, get those out the way, that still counts, right? Eventually you will land in a major, and by the time you do so, your general education will be done. So is there any questions on that? No questions? All right, cool. So like I said, we are going to focus or talk a little bit about how to pay for college. But if this is something that is going to stop, that you think is going to stop you from going to college because you want to make sure that you have your finances in order, we are going to offer a workshop solely on financial aid. So we'll collaborate with ICEC and provide you guys with a workshop solely on this. But just so you know, again, we do offer financial aid assistance, or the government offers financial aid assistance, and the application is FAFSA, right? FAFSA is the application that you would want to go into, and FAFSA offers many tiers of financial aid options, right? So the very first one is the California College Promise Grant. So again, anything that says California or anything that says grant is free money. This is money that you don't have to pay back, right? This is money that is given to you so that you can go to college, right? So now the California College Promise Grant will pay for your tuition. If you are taking classes and the cost for your classes is $200, or if you're taking 3 classes, now you got to pay $600, right? The Promise Grant will pay for those units. You, the student, will only need to pay for the student fees, right? Which is to have access to the college, which is usually like $50. But you would go from paying $600 to just now $50 for the semester for your courses. If based on your income, if you qualify for the Pell Grant, now we're talking about giving you money for going to school. Now, in addition to paying for your classes, we would give you, or the government will give you, approximately somewhere between $700 or $800 per class. So if you're a full-time student, right now our Pell Grant students are getting around $7,000 a year money that is going to your pocket, right? That you don't have to pay back. This money is for you, so you can spend it on things that will make you a successful college student. Okay, now the Cal Grant and federal work study, these are additional scholarships that you would be given based on, for example, your GPA in high school. You would get a little bit more money if you produced good grades in high school. The federal work study is a question on that application that says, do you want to participate in federal work study? This is asking, if we have an opportunity, in addition to all this money that we're giving you, would you also want to work at the college for about 15 hours a week for more money? Right. So again, if this is something that you might consider or not, you always want to say, yes, I want to participate on it. In case it comes up, you can be a part of it. If they offer you something and you don't want it, you can just reject it, right? Not a problem. So this FAFSA application, the ones that I just talked about, is for our students that are either residents or U.S. citizens. And if you want to qualify for the Pell Grant, getting paid, you gotta have your high school diploma or your GED. So another benefit to you finishing your high school diploma or your GED, right? But we are aware that some of our students may not have the status quite yet. They might be working on their residency or their citizenship, right? That doesn't mean that you don't qualify for financial aid. If you are not a resident, if you don't have status, you still can get financial aid through the DREAM Act application. Okay, so in this DREAM Act application, you would qualify for two scholarships. First one is getting your classes paid for, right? And the other one would be based on your grades, right? If once on your high school diploma or your GED, right, then we would give you that additional money for the California Dream Act. But if you have any specific questions about either one, like I said, we can talk about it one-on-one in a counseling session, because obviously right now I'm briefly going over it, but there's a lot more detail that goes into this, like do you have a high school diploma? Or how many years have you been studying here in California? So things like that. Or what was your income for 2021, 2022? Questions like that. So we can help you with that on a one-on-one. Okay. Is there any questions on this? No. Cool. Next slide, please.
Wait, I have someone with a question.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Help,
Okay, go for it.
like to get the help, it depends on your income, or it doesn't matter your income.
Oh, yeah. No,
Okay.
it depends. Yeah. So whether you qualify for financial aid, it does depend on the house income, right? So the FAFSA application is going to ask you. So for example, right now they are the 24-25 FAFSA application is looking at the 2022 income that came into that home, right? So it's all the income that's coming into your house. They will look at all that, and based on that information is whether they qualify you for financial aid. But just to give you just is this not 100%, but just to give you like an example or a ballpark, right? For an individual living at home, if you're over 24 years old, if you make less than 50,000, you qualify for the Cal and the Pell Grant. For any additional person leaving your home, is $50,000 more that can be added. So if it's you and two children, it's 80,000 or less would qualify for the Pell Grant. That's how they look at it.
Did that answer your question? Does anyone else have any questions? Anything? Anything? Oh, I have a question for you, Pete. Okay, I'm sorry, Philly. I saw some mistake.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
Phil-
I'm starting to look like Pete. I know.
I know, no. So Philly, question, do they have to be full-time or part-time in order to receive these grants? Or how does that vary?
Great question. Yeah. So you don't have to be a full-time student. You can be a part-time student and get this the grants. So our financial aid office will calculate the number of units that you're taking, and provide you with the assistance for those students. You can be getting half the amount, or 3/4 the amount, or the full amount. Right? So now it's, if let's just say, we got to be cautious, right? So if you start off as a full-time student and you're collecting all $7,000, and then you stop going to class, or you drop out of a class, right? Then they're gonna take that money away from you. If you simply drop your classes, then you owe that money because you never finished the classes, right? So again, that's something that we can talk about on a one-on-one, so we can make sure that we understand what it means to receive a grant.
Class is still in.
Any questions? No? Cool, thank you.
Thank you, Monse. If you can go to the next slide. I think the next one is the last one that we have for today. Cool. So for those of you that are interested or intrigued by what the community college system is, there are a few steps that you will need to do to become a student at the college. Okay. And again, any of these steps, we are here. Pete is here on Wednesdays. I am here on Thursdays, and we can help you with every single one of these steps. Okay. But you want to apply to the college. This application is done through our website. You apply to the college, and the next day, the college will email you your college ID number. Once you have a college ID number, then we can create an account in your student portal so that you can finish the rest of the steps. Step number 2 will be to do an orientation. An orientation is a workshop about the services that the college offers, and that is also done online through your student portal, which we need your ID to log in and create an account. And then we can also do a guided self-placement, right? The orientation, the application can take you maybe 30 minutes. The orientation will maybe take an hour. The guided self-placement will take us 5 minutes. It's a questionnaire about your high school English and math. Okay. And if you haven't finished your high school diploma or your GED, then we can talk about how we can answer those questions in our session. Once we complete those 3 things, then we can meet to talk about your college trajectory. What do you want to do? We will create an educational plan for you, and we'll align it in a way that you see best fit for yourself. And if we just create something as a foundation, and then later you go in there and rearrange the classes to your liking, that is great. That is what we want you to do. We want you to take ownership of that educational plan. And finally, once you know what classes you need and what you want to take, then you can register for your classes, or I can help you register for your classes. Again, you don't have to do anything on your own. You don't even have to go to the college to do anything. You can do right here at ICEC. We can help you out with that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and right on time. Thank you for being respectful of time. We're just kind of float around along. So here's the information or the contacts. First and foremost, keep in mind that we have our counselors here on campus. For the evening students, we're going to have a counselor here on Thursdays. So, Philly, could you go over through your hours that you're going to be here on Thursdays?
Absolutely, yes. So every Thursday I'll be here from 10 to 7. So I'll be leaving at 7 on Thursdays. So for those of you that are here in the evenings, you can book an appointment with me at 4, 5, or 6. If you're not sure if you're gonna make it in and you want to do a walk-in service, I welcome walk-ins as well. But just know that I'll be leaving at 7. So if we can take care of that before then, that'll be great. But yeah, I'll be here from 10 to 7 every Thursday.
And we also have counselors in the daytime. Okay, so appointments you could be made through your counselors. For the students who have the Ms. Montserrat Gutierrez as your teacher, she will give you more information. If you need information about how to make an appointment, just stop by the counselors or come and see me, and we'll make those appointments. But now you see that all of this is offered for you, and it's a great opportunity for you to start getting that foot into college, and now you see how it impacts your life. So thank you so much for joining. I want to be respectful of the teachers' times. And if there are no other questions, Ms. Gutierrez, any closing comments, announcements?
I think we got everything we needed. I think you all got everything you needed just to get started. There's gonna be more information available to you all. Please come see the counselors here in the counseling center. So we could get you set up with an appointment with Billy on Thursdays. He's here till 7, so I would say take charge of it. Maybe talk to your teachers, we'll make it work. If that doesn't work, we could always see what's going on. We give you the information, it's okay, it's a lot. It's almost like a fire hose, you just kind of got all the information all at once, and that's okay. You'll have questions later, and that's totally fine. At least we got you thinking about maybe what's the next step. So please do come by counseling if you do have any questions, if you do need help. Billy is basically hitting out for the rest of the night, but if you do, check in on him, say hi. When you come in next Thursday, he'll be available, and maybe it'll spark a conversation to get you going on what the next step is. Thank you
Yeah,
all for
and
your
perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. And like I said, keep that in mind. You're able to take classes starting now, but your priority is finishing your high school diploma in GD. But now you have all this information, lots to think about, lots of things to ponder over the next couple of weeks. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for the information.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.